Fist of Legend is one of the most iconic martial arts films starring Jet Li, released in 1994. Directed by Gordon Chan, it's a remake of Bruce Lee's The Chinese Connection, 1972. In this film, Jet Li plays Chen Zhen, a student of the legendary Huo Yuanjia, who returns to Shanghai to avenge the death of his master at the hands of the Japanese. What ensues is an epic journey of personal vengeance and national pride, mixed with jaw-dropping martial arts sequences. The plot is straightforward but powerful. After hearing of his teacher's death, Chen Zhen returns to Shanghai from Japan and is greeted with the harsh reality of the ongoing Japanese occupation. Chen Zhen must fight not only the Japanese martial artists, but also confront his own internal struggle between vengeance and a desire for justice. What makes Fist of Legends stand out is its dedication to martial arts authenticity and storytelling. Unlike many action movies where the focus is primarily on the action sequences, this film truly delves into the inner conflict of its main character. Chen Zhen is not a cold-hearted killer, but a man fighting for the honor of his late master and the country he loves. One of the film's major themes is national pride and resistance. Set during a time when China was under Japanese rule, it's a reflection of the struggle for freedom and justice. The characters in the film, especially Chen Zhen, embody the resilience of the Chinese people in the face of foreign oppression. Jet Li's performance is incredible. His martial arts skills are at the forefront, of course, but he also brings depth to his role. This film really helped cement his status as one of the best martial artists in cinema. His moves are sharp, fast, and incredibly graceful. But there's also emotional depth to his character. He's not just fighting for personal revenge. He's fighting for something bigger. The fight scenes in Fist of Legend are truly exceptional. The choreography is exquisite, showcasing Jet Li's expertise in wushu and kung fu. The final showdown between Jet Li and Japanese martial artist Ryuichi, played by Billy Chow, is a true standout, with stunningly fluid choreography that perfectly captures the intensity of the moment. The movie also features some beautiful use of slow motion, particularly in moments where the physicality of the fight demands it. Now, let's talk about Jet Li's career trajectory. Before becoming an international star, Jet Li had already made a name for himself in Hong Kong, with films like Shaolin Temple, 1982, and Once Upon a Time in China, 1991. These movies established him as a force to be reckoned with in martial arts cinema. However, with Fist of Legend, Jet Li took his career to the next level, showcasing his talent for both acting and fighting in a way that was both emotionally resonant and physically mesmerizing. Jet Li's transition from Hong Kong to Hollywood wasn't an easy one, but his success with films like Lethal Weapon 4, 1998, and Romeo Must Die, 2000, eventually brought him international fame. He brought his signature style of wushu to a wider audience, elevating him to global stardom. Okay. In terms of Jet Li's career, Fist of Legend represents the pinnacle of his Hong Kong cinema era. It's a perfect blend of the old-school martial arts tradition and modern filmmaking techniques, showcasing Jet Li as not only a martial artist, but also a storyteller. His fight scenes, while brutal, are executed with such finesse and emotion that they resonate beyond just the physical aspect. Beyond the plot and fight sequences, Fist of Legend is also a key film in the context of the martial arts genre. It helped revive interest in traditional kung fu and wushu in the 90s, drawing comparisons to earlier works by Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. It brought a more serious tone to martial arts cinema, one that blended action with historical and cultural themes. Comparing Fist of Legend to other martial arts films of the era, it stands out for its authenticity and emotional depth. While Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee were known for their acrobatics and charisma, Jet Li brought a more grounded, intense, and technically proficient style to the screen. His approach was less about comedy and more about conveying inner strength through his actions. In terms of similar films, Fist of Legend is often compared to other martial arts epics like The Chinese Connection, 1972, and Enter the Dragon, 1973, as well as the later Ip Man series, which similarly focuses on themes of nationalism and personal honor. However, Jet Li's portrayal of Chen Zhen in Fist of Legend feels unique in how it bridges the gap between modern action and traditional martial arts storytelling. Looking back at Jet Li's career, Fist of Legend is a turning point. It shows him at his peak in terms of physicality, and it solidified his place as a martial arts legend. Though he would later go on to become a Hollywood star, Fist of Legend remains a critical piece of his legacy, showing just how incredible his skills were when he was still working in the Hong Kong film industry. Overall, Fist of Legend is not just a martial arts movie, it's a cultural statement. It's about honor, pride, and the personal sacrifices made for the greater good. Jet Li's performance, the film's choreography, and its historical context all come together to make it one of the best martial arts films ever made. Whether you're a fan of action films or just looking for a deep, emotional story told through the lens of martial arts, Fist of Legend is a must-see. Black Mask is a 1996 Hong Kong action film starring Jet Li. It's a high-energy, martial arts-packed movie with a bit of a sci-fi twist. The story follows a super soldier named Black Mask, played by Jet Li, who is part of an elite group of genetically enhanced soldiers known as the Masks. These soldiers were created by a secret government experiment designed to create the perfect fighting machines. However, after realizing the horrors of the project, Black Mask, whose real name is Chen, he's given the code name Black Mask due to the face mask he wears to hide his identity, defects from the organization and attempts to live a normal life. He's now working as a low-key librarian in a Hong Kong library, trying to leave his violent past behind. But things quickly take a turn when he is forced to confront his former comrades, who have gone rogue. These rogue masks have now turned into violent criminals, wreaking havoc in the city. Black Mask, with his superior combat abilities and enhanced physical abilities, must take them down one by one to stop their reign of terror. Throughout the film, Black Mask is constantly torn between his desire for peace and the necessity to use his deadly skills to protect the innocent. The plot takes a thrilling turn with a lot of stylish fight sequences, explosions, and a showdown with the rogue masks. Black Mask Jet Li. The central character is a tragic hero who is struggling to reconcile his violent past with his desire to lead a normal life. Jet Li's portrayal of Black Mask is full of intensity, and the action sequences really showcase his martial arts prowess. His character is very stoic but also vulnerable, especially when he's thrown into situations where he has to confront his former allies. Wong is a grizzled, determined Hong Kong police officer who gets involved in the investigation of the rogue masks. He's not as skilled as Black Mask, but he serves as a helpful sidekick, bringing a sense of grounded realism to the fantastical world of super soldiers and enhanced abilities. The rogue masks. These are the villains who were part of the original government project, and each one is a skilled fighter with unique abilities. They pose a real threat to Black Mask and make for some intense and diverse fight sequences. Rookie Cop. This character is a rookie cop who becomes involved in the chaos caused by the rogue masks. While not a major character, his role adds a bit of comic relief and some extra action. Themes and style. One of the most interesting aspects of Black Mask is its exploration of identity. The central character is literally trying to escape from the identity that was forced upon him as a super soldier. Throughout the film, Black Mask struggles with the notion of being human versus being a weapon, and how he fits into society after all the violence he's been a part of. The film also touches on themes of betrayal and redemption. Black Mask's loyalty to his fellow soldiers and the government is tested when he has to confront them after they go rogue. His decision to leave the group and live a peaceful life is contrasted with his duty to stop them. It's a classic story of a hero having to face his demons. As for the style of the film, Black Mask is very much a product of its time. The action sequences are flashy, with Jet Li showcasing his martial arts expertise in choreographed fight scenes that were groundbreaking for the time. There's a mix of high-flying, acrobatic combat and hand-to-hand brawls that makes for a visually captivating experience. The film also plays with some sci-fi elements, as the masks have enhancements that give them superhuman abilities. Jet Li's career. Black Mask came at an interesting time in Jet Li's career. It was one of his earlier films in Hong Kong cinema, following his success in films like Once Upon a Time in China. In this film, you can see that Jet Li's martial arts skills were already top-notch, and the action scenes were a major selling point. At the time of the film's release, Jet Li wasn't as globally known as he would become later with Hollywood movies like Lethal Weapon 4 and The Expendables. This movie helped cement his status as a martial arts legend in Hong Kong cinema. Interestingly, Jet Li's voice was dubbed in the original release of Black Mask for reasons that are a bit unclear. It's speculated that there were issues with the sound quality or the director's desire to enhance the character's voice. However, in later versions, such as Blu-ray releases, Jet Li's original voice was restored, allowing viewers to hear him as he intended. Sequels and legacy. Black Mask spawned a sequel, Black Mask 2: City of Masks, 2002, but it didn't feature Jet Li, which significantly impacted the film's reception. The sequel also didn't match the same level of excitement and acclaim as the original. However, the first film remains a cult classic for fans of martial arts action and Jet Li's early work. While Black Mask didn't have the same global impact as some of Jet Li's later Hollywood hits, it remains a standout film in his early career, showcasing his unique blend of martial arts and acting. Its influence can be seen in later films, especially those with enhanced or genetically modified characters. Conclusion. Overall, Black Mask is an underrated gem in the world of Hong Kong action films. It blends martial arts, sci-fi, and a compelling personal journey, with Jet Li at the top of his game. It's a perfect film for fans of 90s action and for anyone looking to dive into Jet Li's earlier work. While it may not have reached the mainstream success of some of his later films, it's definitely worth a watch for its action, story, and themes of redemption. Kiss of the Dragon, 2001. This film, directed by Chris Nahan, stands out as one of Li's most thrilling Hollywood films. Known for his fluid and precise fighting style, Li brings his unique brand of choreography and athleticism to the film's explosive action sequences. In this review, we'll dive into the plot, the characters, and the elements that make Kiss of the Dragon such an unforgettable action experience. The plot. The film begins with Chinese intelligence officer Liu Jian, Jet Li, being sent to Paris on a mission to apprehend a notorious drug lord. However, after a setup by corrupt French police officer, Richard Checky Cario, Liu finds himself framed for a crime he didn't commit. Betrayed by those he trusted, Liu has to fight his way through a network of corrupt police officers, criminals, and dangerous assassins to clear his name and stop the drug trade from taking over. The plot is a mix of high-octane action and espionage, with plenty of personal stakes for Jet Li's character. His journey to bring justice, rescue an innocent woman, and uncover the truth drives the film forward, providing a balance of suspense and action that keeps audiences engaged from start to finish. The characters. At the heart of Kiss of the Dragon is Jet Li's portrayal of Liu Jian, a calm yet deadly martial artist with a deep sense of honor and justice. Li's performance is subtly emotional, showing vulnerability as he is wrongfully accused and seeks redemption. He brings a quiet intensity to his character, showing his dedication to finding the truth and clearing his name, while maintaining his prowess as a skilled fighter. Bridget Fonda plays Jessica, a woman caught in the dangerous web of the corrupt officers. Fonda's character is pivotal to the storyline, as she becomes an ally and a source of support for Liu. She brings depth to the film, offering both vulnerability and strength in a role that could easily have been just a damsel in distress. Checky Cario's portrayal of the villainous Inspector Richard is chilling. His character is manipulative, treacherous, and charismatic in a way that makes him a formidable antagonist. Cario's performance enhances the tension of the film, making Liu's struggle against the system even more compelling. Jet Li's career. By the time Kiss of the Dragon was released, Jet Li had already established himself as a martial arts icon, with a string of successful films in both Hong Kong and Hollywood. Prior to Kiss of the Dragon, Li had starred in The One, 2001, Romeo Must Die, 2000, and The Lethal Weapon 4, 1998, showing audiences that he could blend martial arts with mainstream action. However, Kiss of the Dragon was his chance to really take on a role that emphasized both his acting and martial arts talent. with a deeper, more personal story than some of his previous films. Before his Hollywood success, Jet Li was already a star in Hong Kong, having gained fame with the Once Upon a Time in China series and Fist of Legend. His work in Hong Kong cinema had made him a household name, known for his speed, technical precision, and deep understanding of martial arts choreography. His background in wushu, a form of Chinese martial arts, influenced his on-screen fighting style, which is a seamless blend of athleticism and artistic fluidity. The action. When it comes to Kiss of the Dragon, the martial arts sequences are where the film truly shines. The choreography is masterful, with Jet Li showcasing his trademark quick strikes, graceful yet brutal moves, and impeccable timing. The fight scenes are intense and well-paced, with each one driving the plot forward while showing off Jet Li's expertise in hand-to-hand combat. One standout scene is the fight in the hotel room, where Liu must fight his way through several henchmen while dealing with his own injury. The choreography is complex, fast-paced, and beautifully executed. It's a true showcase of Jet Li's talent, as he doesn't just rely on brute strength, but also on his ability to think on his feet and adapt in the heat of battle. One of the things that makes Kiss of the Dragon different from other action films of its time is the unique use of martial arts. Rather than just using action for spectacle, the fight scenes are designed to tell a story, showing the intelligence and resourcefulness of the protagonist. Liu isn't just physically strong, but he uses his environment and his wits to outsmart and outfight his opponents. Jet Li's stunts and style. Jet Li is known for performing many of his own stunts, and Kiss of the Dragon is no exception. His martial arts training and dedication to realism in his fights make his performances stand out in Hollywood. Unlike some action stars, Jet Li's fight scenes don't rely on special effects or wires, making them feel grounded in reality. He takes on the dangerous and intricate choreography himself, and this dedication brings a level of authenticity to the film that's rare in action cinema. One interesting fact is that during filming, Jet Li's body took quite a beating. He had to be extremely disciplined in terms of his training and conditioning to maintain the stamina required for such a physically demanding role. Conclusion: Kiss of the Dragon is a great example of how Jet Li can balance intense martial arts action with a compelling storyline. His performance as Liu Jian is both physically demanding and emotionally grounded, making him one of the most respected martial artists in film. The film successfully blends action, suspense, and drama, creating a unique viewing experience that showcases Jet Li's talents in a way that many of his other films don't. For fans of martial arts, action films, or Jet Li's career, Kiss of the Dragon is a must-watch. It's a film that highlights his incredible skills while providing a thrilling narrative and unforgettable fight scenes. Whether you're a longtime Jet Li fan or new to his work, this movie is sure to impress.